Hello everyone and welcome back here. Alright, now is the time to unwrap this. We added subdivision with level 3, and now if I activate the wireframe, as you can see, it's high resolution. I'm not going to unwrap this with that number of segments. I should reduce that to make the unwrapping process faster and easier for us. And before I'm doing that, I will copy this and keep it in a new collection. So I will select this and hit Shift D to take a copy like that, and then hit right click to leave it in the same place, and I will hit M to open the collection menu, hit a new collection, and I will call this backup, and then hit OK. And now we have the new one inside the backup. Hide it like that in the render and in the viewport. And now let's work on this one. I will reduce the level to 1, I guess. Now if I hit Y to activate the wireframe, by the way, with the Y letter, I assign that for the wireframe. If you want to do that, you should go to the object data properties and in the viewport display. Here we have the wireframe. You can hit right click and hit assign shortcut right here. Because I already have a shortcut, now the option here is change to change shortcut. Okay, and then hit the letter that you would like to add. Anyway, now let's see the wireframe. As you can see, let's go back to the subdivision service. If you didn't have a result like that, that's because of the optimal display. Turn this off to see all the wireframe or all the vertices. I will reduce this to 1 and I will apply the subdivision service. And now I will split this window to 2 like this and switch this to the UV editor. And now inside the UV editor, tap to go to the edit mode, and now let's see how can we unwrap this. Alright, for the head, I can cut the head from this area, adding a seam right here. So select this edge and just hit right click and mark seam, so we can unwrap it from here. Mark seam. Seam is like you have a scissor, and it's like you have a scissor like that to cut this area. Okay, we are cutting this area. So one edge right here, that's a good place, and maybe here we should have maybe one edge goes like this. Right click and mark seam, cut this area as well. And this area, it will be a little bit difficult to Blender to unwrap it, so I will add seam here as well to open these areas. Okay, right click, mark seam. All right, what else we can do? Maybe we can add seam right here, reach this area, I guess. That will help to open the head. So right click and mark seam. Oh, that's very cool. Okay, now let's see what else we could do. Maybe we can add seam here underneath the belly. Just keep in your mind that seams should be added in places not so quite visible. Okay, so let's cut this area, right click and mark seam. If you want to texture this with the Blender, you will get a problem with the seams, because the seams will be visible when you add a texture. The seam area, you will have some kind of problem or overlapping in the texture happen in around the seam area. Because of that, we want to, or we should hide the seam or put it in places not visible to the camera. So here we have two options. I can add seam here underneath the belly like that, or I can add the seam right here. Because this area, it should be visible to the camera, I should avoid it. So it's better to add the seam here underneath the belly. Okay, let's add seam right here. Maybe the seam can reach this area, I guess. All right, right click, mark seam. Something like that, and maybe we can open this area as well. Right click, mark seam. Sorry. And maybe we can, let's see what else we can do. Maybe we should supply the legs, I guess. But let's see from where we can do that. Maybe we can add an edge goes like that. Mark seam. And on this side, the same thing. Mark seam. And maybe we can add seam for the legs, for example, one here and one here to open this. Mark seam. And on this side. By the way, feel free to add seams wherever you like. If you want to try, I mean, it's not so quite important to follow me at this stage. You can try adding seam by your own. Okay. And maybe we can add seam to the tail. Okay, sorry. Maybe I can select this as well. Right click, mark seam. And let's select those as well here. Mark seam. All right. All right, now let's see what's going to happen if we unwrap this. We are not finished here, but I just want to see. I will hit A to select all the vertices and go here and hit unwrap to unwrap this. And as you can see, it's unwrapped. And when you do that, he will have two option or two method here: the angle base and conformal. The angle base it's fit for the organic geometries like this cat, and the conformal it's fit for the hard surface. So stick with the angle base. All right, now we want to check the results. I want to see if this makes sense or not. So I will tab and I will open a window like that, and I will change this to the shader editor. Hit N to get rid of this panel, and I will hit N new materials to create a new material. We can call this checker, enter, and let's search for checker texture. Hit Shift A to search, and search for checker texture. Now we have it right here. Plug this to the base color, and then hit Control Shift click so we can see it, and hit Z, go to material preview. And now we have the checker. And let's make the scale small, just increase the number right here to make it small like that. But I want to add texture coordinate. I will hit Control T to add that, because I want to plug the UV to the vector right here. You can ignore this, hit Control X and dissolve it. All what you should do, just add texture coordinate. As you saw, I hit Control T to add the mapping and the texture coordinate, but if that doesn't work for you, that's because of the node wrangler is not active here. So go to the add-on section and search for wrangler, node wrangler, and activate it. That will give you extra shortcuts. You can use them in the shader editor. All right, now when we plugged the UV to the vector, now we got this result. The result so far looks cool, but if you see a variation in the size, for example, the size of the square here is not similar to this one. This one is bigger. That means we have a variation. But if the variation is not so much big, you can accept that. For example, this result, I can accept it, and it could be cool. It's not going to be a huge problem. Maybe for the face we can work on this area a little bit. Let's change this to maybe 60. I just want to make these smaller. All right, let's tab here and maybe we can, I don't know, maybe we can we open this area? All right, I will extend the seam to reach this area. That will help to make it better. Right click and mark seam. Now I will hit A and then here hit U twice. As you can see, that's give us another result, but we have some variation in the sides, as you can see here, and we have some distortion, I guess. So let's see what option do we have to get rid of that. All right, so this is the head, as you can see. Maybe if we split the ears, that maybe can help a little bit to get better results. So I will select the edges around the ears like that, and I will select these as well. Okay, and then I will hit right click and mark seam, and then hit A and hit U twice, U 2 times. All right, I think we can delete these edges right here, clear seam, because that will give us this uh, tape here. I mean, now if I hit A to select the UV, we have this area. As you can see, these polygons. I don't like to leave them like this. So in this case, we can change the flow of the seam to be like that. Right click and mark seam. And the same thing, we can do it for this side. Crop those and right click, mark seam. And let's delete these. Right click, clear seam. Hit A and hit U twice. All right, as you can see, that give us another result. And that's helped to minimize the distortion on this area. All right, I think we can accept this result. I don't see any distortion anywhere. Maybe just this area we can add more seams here to open it a little bit. For example, I can add seam goes like that, and maybe, or maybe here to reach this area and mark seam, and another seam maybe goes here. Right click and mark seam, hit A and then hit U twice here. As you can see, now this area is opened. Okay, now the result looks better. And now let's turn off wireframe and let's go to solid. And after that, you can add subdivision surface with level 1 or 2. After doing all of that, now is the time to add a material. I prefer to use HDRI Haven to download materials from there to use them on this project. So let's visit this website. As you can see, this is HDRI Haven or Poly Haven. And here we have the HDRI and texture and 3D model. I will open the texture. And here we have a lot of free textures. We can use them and download them. Let's visit the wood section and let's see what we have here. For example, I can add a wood or make it made of wood. So I think this option is beautiful, dark wood. But let's see what else we have here. Yeah, I think we can stick with this one. If you want to use marble, you can do that. Okay, this one looks nice, and I think this one as well looks cool. Yeah, this one. I will pick this one. I think 2K is okay, so I will hit 2K and download the material. Let's see what we have here. If you like, you can download uh, specific materials from here. For example, roughness, normal, displacement, diffuse, and you can choose the PNG or JPEG, whatever thing you like here. All right, for me, I will download them from here. Now downloading is done, and now we have it right here. Right click, let's extract the folder here, and let's see what we have inside it. Inside this folder we have the textures, the diffuse, displacement. We are not going to use displacement, so I will hit delete to delete it. Sorry, delete. And here we have the normal and the roughness. All right, we just need these, so let's move this folder right here and let's go back to Blender. And let's open the shader editor. And we don't need these. I will hit Ctrl X to dissolve them and plug this here. And now I will hit Ctrl Shift T, and I will search for the folder of the wood material. Right now we have it right here. Let's select these and then hit principal texture setup. And if you do that, Blender will automatically put these images and plug them for you if you hit Ctrl Shift T. And now we have everything ready. After that, I will hit Z to go to material preview. I just want to see the material. If the scale, if you are not so quite happy with the scale, you can change the scale from here. I will add a value so I can control the X and Y and Z together. Search for value and plug the value to the scale, and here you can change the number. As you can see, because of the seams that we talked about, the seam position, we got this problem here and here. And because of that, I told you should put the seams in specific places, not visible. For example, right here, this area is not going to be visible, so it's okay to add seam here. But anyways, let's change the scale to something small or maybe big. And if you like, you can change the direction of the texture as well, if you like, and the rotation. I think this result is very nice to rotate the texture to maybe 100-degree, because now we can see some kind of harmony between the shape and the textures. As you can see, the flow of the textures goes with the body, and that's something cool. Okay, that's very nice. All right, so now after doing all of that, we should add the lighting and render it. So I will add plane and scale it like that, make it big, and tap to go to the edit mode, and I will grab this edge. Maybe I can extend it back and hit E to the Z to extrude this up here. With Ctrl B to bevel this, rotate the wheel so we can make this smooth like that, and confirm. And now we should add some light source. Maybe we can hit A to select all the faces and scale it a little bit, make it wider. And let's select this plane and hit new to create a new material for it. Let's change the name to ground. And let's make the color a little bit darker. And right click shade smooth to get rid of these lines. After that, I will add a camera, hit Shift A to add, and let's add a camera. And now we have the camera underneath the model. To frame the camera to the view that I like, I can just pick the view that I want, for example, from here. And I will hit Control Alt 0 to frame the camera to this position. And then I will go to the view, and then here we have an option in the navigate. We have walk navigation, just activate it. And now you can control the camera like you are playing a game. You can use the W to go forward, S backward, to the left and to the right. And you can hit Q to go down, E to go up. So use these buttons to frame the camera like that, for example. And I will select the frame of the camera and go to the camera setting. And in the focal length, I will change this to 120. And I will go back a little bit. It's up to you if you want to use 120 or whatever focal length you like. Alright, after doing that, maybe I can change one of these views to 3D viewport so I can control everything from here. And now we need a light source, so I will hit Shift A and go to the light and add, for example, an area light. And hit G to the Z and let's move this up. Scale it, make it big. By the way, the cat is very big, but that's okay. It's not a huge problem. And I will change the render to the cycle and change the device to GPU. Make sure to activate the GPU and the properties and the system. Choose the GPU from here. And now I will hit Z to go to render. I just want to see the result. The light is not powerful, so I will go to the light. After selecting the light, go to the light setting, change this to maybe 400 or 500. I think that's alright. So far this is cool, but I will add another light source. So in this case, maybe we can hit Shift D to take another copy like that and grab this ball towards the body like that. Maybe we can make it smaller a little bit, but stronger, for example, 5,000. Okay, something like this. Maybe, I don't know, maybe we can add 8,000. Make it stronger a little bit. Okay, the result so far looks very nice. By the way, it's not necessary to stick with the wood texture. We can change that. This is something up to you. Right, let's select this and let's go to the subdivision surface, and I will increase this to 3 or to 2, sorry, just to make this even smoother. Okay, the result so far looks cool, but maybe the background, we can make it darker. I will add a gradient texture, Shift A to search, and I will search for gradient. And now we have the gradient. I will hit Control Shift click so I can preview the result with the gradient. You can hit Z and go to material preview right here to see the result. As you can see, the gradient gives you a black and white result. And I want to control that. So I will grab the texture or the node here, and I will hit Control T to add texture coordinate and mapping. And I will control the node. I want to control this node by using the object feature we have right here. So to do that, we should have a controller right here. I will add an empty so we can control that. I can use a cube. Let's move this up for now. And now let's select the ground and pick this empty. Alright, so now I have the ability to control the texture by this empty. Now if I hit G to move it, sorry, grab this. Don't forget to change the connection from generated to object so we can see a result. And now if I grab this to move it, that will affect the texture. Now I can rotate this to the Z to rotate the color like that, 90 degree maybe. And I can move this back. And if I scale it, I can have some transition, as you can see. Now I can hit here and move this back, maybe right here. After that, we can maybe we can change the roughness a little bit. Okay, and maybe we can, sorry, I should plug this to the base color first. Yeah. All right. Let's move this a little bit forward, but not too much. That's very cool. If you want to add some blotchiness in the roughness, you can do that by using the noise texture. So let's search for noise. And here we have the noise texture. Control shift click so you can see the result right here. So this is the result, as you can see. Maybe we can change the scale a tiny bit like that, and we can change the roughness to make this rough, and the details, we want more details. The result looks cool. And now after doing that, we can plug this to the roughness. Control shift click on this node so we can preview it. And now we have some blotchiness. But if that's strong, we can control it with the curve. So let's hit shift A to search for curve, RGB curve, and let's plug this right here. Now we can control that if you want this to be strong or glossy. And you can reduce, if you take this down, you can reduce the effect. As you can see now, if I zoom here and take this down, it will be very subtle. Okay, something like this. And if you want to change the color of the gradients, you can add in the texture, I guess. Here we have, let's see, where is it? Let's search for the mix color, this option right here. This will help to mix between two colors. Add this, plug this to the factor, and here, for example, you can add black here, and this one, if you want to make it red, if you want black with red, you have this option, maybe yellow, maybe green, maybe whatever color you like. So feel free to pick whatever color you like from here. Maybe the ground, you want the ground to be red like that, you can do that. Okay, something like that. I think that's very nice. Can we accept this result? Looks cool. But I think this kind of color is not fit with the wood. So let's try to pick something better. Like, I don't know, maybe something yellowish or something like that. Make this dark. And this one, But even if you make this gray color or something dark, that will work. Right now, after doing all of that, I think we need another light source. So let's put the 3D cursor right here and let's hit Shift A to add. And I will go to the light section and I will add a spotlight. Grab this ball and move it towards the body and move the lights. Maybe we could move it and point it from here towards the object like that. And let's change the strength to maybe 5000. And I think it should be focused. Maybe we can control that and make this strong. Just focus on the cat itself. Maybe we can put 10, maybe 1000, make it strong. G and then Shift Z to cancel the Z axis, and let's move it maybe right here. And let's repoint this again. Right, let's change this to 20. Maybe something even bigger or stronger. Alright, I think that's too much. I'm not so quite sure. Let's go to the top and maybe we can change the position. Alright, that's too much. Let's change this to 30. Let's change this to 10. And if you like, you can change the color to something blue if you like. Okay, something like that. I think that will be nice. Okay, now after all of that, you can render this. So far, the result looks very nice. And I like the environment and the transition between the white and the black color. Now maybe we can render it. So I will go to solid here and here and just go to the render and render the image. But before that, let's go to the properties here. I'm not going to work with the threshold, noise threshold. I will turn this off and I will work with samples. I will add, for example, 600 and activate the denoise. And I think that's it. Just the device just choose the GPU. That will be it. And the resolution, you can control that from here. If you want this to be 2K, you can change this to 4K. You can change this to 200. And now we will render it. So go to the render and render the image. And let's see what's going to happen. Yeah, now we are rendering 4K image. Okay, 600 samples. The render is finished now, and it took just 2 minutes, as you can see right here. And the result looks very beautiful. Alright, now let's try to... First, let's save this. Just go to the image and then save as. And let's save this as result 1. Let's save it like that. Now we are inside Photoshop. Let's make some tweaking here. This tool right here, it can help you to get rid of the seams. Okay, Spot Healing Brush Tool. Just pick the right size and just click on the seam area. It can make it looks better a little bit. It's not going to give you a perfect result, but it's better than the seam. We have a seam right here, we can get rid of it. What else? I think that's it. Okay, let's try to get rid of this area. Okay, maybe we can break this area a little bit. Alright, now the result looks better. After that, I will go to the filter and go to the camera raw filter, or you can hit Shift Control A. And let's make some tweaking to the colors here. Here we have a lot of options. Let's zoom in a little bit, and I like to use this option, the dehaze, I think it's called. I don't know. But when I push this, it can give me very nice and beautiful contrast. And the clarity looks cool to use, but don't push this too much. And maybe the texture option looks cool. The exposure, if you like to control the exposure. And here we have the contrast, if you want more contrast. The highlights, if you want to increase the highlight a little bit like that. Something like this, I think it will be cool. And what else we have here? We have the sharpening. Let's make this a little bit sharper. Under the detail. All right. Now I think it's beautiful and amazing. And yeah, that's it for this video, and see you in future courses.